I ask unanimous consent the call of quorum be terminated.
Without objection.
Mr. President, what is the pending business?
The clerk will report the pending business.
Morning business is closed then, is that right?
The Senator is correct.
Calendar number 38, S-782, a bill to amend the Public Works and Economic Development Act of 1965 to reauthorize that act and for other purposes.
I ask consent to set aside the pending amendment, call up amendment number 476 on behalf of Senator Feinstein.
Without objection, the clerk will report the amendment.
The Senator from Nevada, Mr. Reed, for Mrs. Feinstein, proposes amendment number 476. At the end, add the following. Title, Ethanol Subsidies and Tariff Repeal. Section 1, short title. This title may be cited as the Ethanol Subsidy and Tariff Repeal Act. Section 2, repeal of VEETC, elimination of excise tax credit or payment. 1.
The reading of the amendment be waived.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I would ask that Senator Coburn be listed as the second sponsor of that amendment. It's by Feinstein, number 476.
Without objection.
I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate resumes consideration of S-782 on Thursday, June 16th, the Feinstein Amendment number 476 and the McCain Amendment number 411 be debated concurrently, that there be up to 4 hours of debate equally divided between the two leaders or the designees, and that upon the use reading back at the time, the Senate to proceed to votes in relation to the amendments in the following order: Feinstein 476, McCain 411. Further, neither of the amendments be divisible, that there be no amendments, points of order, or motions in order to either amendment prior to the points of order, the applicable motions to waive, that both amendments be subject to a 60-vote threshold, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid on the table. Finally, upon disposition of the McCain Amendment, majority will be recognized.
Without objection.
President,
The Majority Leader.
I want to thank the Senator from South Carolina for allowing us to go forward with this agreement. Senator Mint wanted to ensure that this agreement in no way limits his ability to offer and get votes on an amendment that he cares about. It's number 460 regarding renewable fuel standards and the estate tax. Senator Mint is correct. This agreement does not preclude the Senate from considering his amendment, and I thank the Senator for his cooperation. Mr. President, I also very much appreciate the understanding of Senator Feinstein, Senator Klobuchar, Senator Thune, Senator Coburn. We've worked really hard to try to get to this point. It hasn't been easy. Most everyone didn't get what they wanted, but that's what agreements are all about. And we have the opportunity to move forward on to other things. We'll have to decide what more we can do on this bill. But I appreciate very much their understanding and the many conversations I had with them during the day. They were all very courteous and thoughtful and very good advocates of their positions. I ask consent that the Senate proceed to S-Res 208.
The clerk will report.
S-Res 208, expressing the sense of the Senate regarding Mongolian President Ebeg Dorj's visit to Washington, D.C., and his support for the growing partnership between the United States and Mongolia.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, the motion to reconsider be laid on the table. There be no intervening action or debate. Any statements relating to the measure be printed in the record at the appropriate place as if read.
Without objection.
I ask consent that when the Senate completes its business day, it adjourn until tomorrow morning, June 16th at 10 a.m. Following the prayer and the pledge, journal proceedings be approved to date. The morning hour be deemed expired. The time for the two leaders be reserved for use later in the day. Following any leader remarks, the Senate resume consideration of S-782, the Economic Development Act, under the previous order.
Without objection.
There will be two roll call votes tomorrow around 2 p.m. in relation to Feinstein and McCain amendments regarding the subject matter of those amendments. If there's no further business to come before the Senate, I ask that it adjourn under the previous order.
The Senate stands adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow.
The senator spent much of the day on general speeches and economic